Okay, so here is my video diary blog. So many people like always ask me, how are you doing? Are you okay? Like, what's been going on? Like, how are you? And so, I get that a lot. So I figure I would make a page specifically for, what's going on in my personal walk with God. I'm going to try to keep these segments to 10 minutes, maybe a little bit over, just for people that lose interest and so on and so forth. Let me just jump right in. I lived in such a way all my life. I never really was churched. I born in 1981. I'm 33 years old. I walked in a way of just not good. Like, everything I did didn't promote anything good back. It was in a massive bondage of addiction, was a stripper, a dancer, and with that comes other things, and I just walked. That was normal for me. That was normal. My upbringing was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I was raised by patch holders and motorcycle gang members. What was normalized to me isn't normal to other people. It really is something of a great deception in our culture. Now marijuana is not that big of a deal, but 50 years ago that was like, they came out with the reefer madness stuff, so our culture is slowly declining into Sodom and Gomorrah culture, Sodom and Gomorrah mindset. It's a self, like, I'm doing this because I want to, this is what I want to do, this is the ways that I want to live in, this is my belief system. But yet we form belief systems when we're just kids, and behavioral habits come with that, and we can have so many vicious cycles because of these wrong mindsets, these wrong belief systems. And so I got radically encountered by God, and he really brought me through a lot of darkness. And so then I got filled with this unseen substance. I was on this journey because I had seen something on these people's face during a awakening in Kansas City, at a place called International House of Prayer, which has a lot of scrutiny, and if you look it up on the internet, it's going to say it's this, it's going to say it's that. But the original church of the day, or even Jesus, they all said he was this and he was that, but he was really the Son of God. So I saw something on everybody's face that I wanted, and I went on a spiritual journey to try to find what it was, and in the midst of it, was opening doors in a spirit realm, to what the world calls paranormal activity, to what the media, as far as, shows, reality shows, they have all these stuff on psychic mediums and paranormal activity and stuff like that. Well, I'd always had these type of intuitions. I never really tried to tap into them, but I had this sight, and I was, I saw shadows. Call them shadow people if you want to. But if you're ever out on the streets and you're a junkie or you're a dope head and you all of a sudden have a fear and all this stuff, man, it's real. There's a whole nother spirit realm out there. And a lot of people are seers. A lot of people have these gifts, and they're still in the bondage of addiction or certain other levels. That's a whole nother segment. But I went to find the truth. I wanted to know truth. I didn't believe in organized religion. I still don't. I don't believe in denominations. I don't believe in all that stuff. So anyway, I got saved. I got filled radically with the Holy Spirit. It just rocked my world. It wasn't on a religious end at all. I'm not religious. I'm just a spiritual person. I went hard after this thing, this substance, this truth, and really dug deep into this word, this word, and really meditated on these truths, like proverbs for wisdom, daily wisdom to live by, you know, like parables to correlate in my daily life, fasted just to try to get closer to God, and so on and so forth. And I still don't get the whole, like, Lutheran Baptist and all this crap, man. We all pray to the same God, dude. We all pray to the same person. I don't do the whole systematic thing, man. I'm a sinner. I'm a chief sinner, you know, but I'd rather be transparent and open than be false and have this outward appearance of, like, I have it all together and, oh, da-da-da-da-da-da, but inside I'm struggling with all this hidden sin and nobody knows about it, but God does. And in that, I don't want to be like, you know, that couple in the book of Acts that sold all their stuff and kind of held back some money, and in front of Peter, literally, they both got struck down dead because they lied to God and lied to the Holy Spirit. That's not me. I don't want to be like that. Anyway, so I went hard. I wound up going to school. I was going into a ministry school. I was auditing classes. I was actually on staff in the prayer room. I was, you know, on a worship team and so on and so forth. I had just a lot of attack and a lot of things after me, a lot of confusion concerning a brother, a lot of confusion concerning, you know, like, oh, this is your prophesied husband, this is your Adam, you're his Eve, you were created for him from before the sands of times were made, and just all this just over the top, super spiritualized, like, I want to say false signs and wonders at this point, you know, because, like, it caused a lot of religious abuse. So it literally pushed me out of the place that I was, and I left out of hurt and defense, and I went to Florida. But 6 months after I had been radically saved, I went to Florida, and I met an individual. And when I first saw this person, I just wanted this person to know the love of the Lord. I wanted this person to know what freedom was outside of bondage, and so the enemy, he used that against me, and found myself slowly getting heart ties and emotions, and to what was just a friendship turned into a something that I ran to after that, you know, because it was a long time. It was like a year and a half. It really took hold after a year and a half. Really, yeah. So I'm at 8 minutes. So all right. So I left God. I went to Florida. I didn't leave God, like, in my heart. I really just wanted, you know, this person to be radically set free and saved, and, you know, futilely in my just deceiving ways, you know. I'm so wretched, and I'm so wrong in the way that I want to be, and I'm weak. So I wanted this person for my own. This person was the most beautiful person, still is, most beautiful person, such an amazing person, but I had to, I guess I had to walk this out, you know. I had to see what the truth was, what was going on, and, when you have a legitimate spiritual awakening from the inside out, when you have experienced the goodness, when you have tasted and seen and been satisfied by something that is not of this world, that you cannot see, but every time you get on your guitar, or every time you just get on your face and you really seek this thing out and this presence shows up, it becomes a holy addiction. It becomes a pursuit. It becomes it ruins you. It ruins you from the world. It ruins you from things. And so I was in Florida. I fell in love with another woman. I'd never been there before, you know, like, I was a junkie, I was a prostitute, I was a stripper, I was all this stuff, and God really, for 2 years, purified me. I was in celibacy, and I was really walking it out, and through hurt and offense, I had formed a relationship with this individual, and this person was my best friend. Like, The hardest part about Florida was losing that friend and that person. The hardest part was when the codependency and the emotional codependency came into play. And then the reality that it was just, wasn't living a lifestyle that I wanted to live. I wasn't going after God like I was. I stopped reading my Bible. I tried to go to churches, but they were all like plastic, and there was like these false grace messages that would tickle your ear. Like, there wasn't anything that challenged me as a Christian. You know, I'm 4 years old in this thing. And, I longed for a better way. I longed for that peace. I longed for healthy sobriety. I longed for emotional purity to, you know, be in a place that I was lovesick for something that wasn't of this world. I was deprived of, holy intimacy with an unseen substance. I was deprived of living in a spirit, living. They say don't be so heavenly minded that you're not no earthly good. And I get that. But, you know, God, I just missed him. I missed his presence. When he took his presence away from me, it devastated me. And then I was seeking after this other person to make me feel better. Like, it got to the point that it was so unhealthy that I began having very bad behaviors. And I was manifesting bad behaviors, jealousy, strife, envy, covetousness. I was coveting, like, you know, you can't hang out with this person is not good for you. And it was, I care, this is why I don't want you to be with or see these people or hang out with these people. And it was back and forth. It became such a control, and I'm so over 10 minutes, but I'm going to keep going for like 3 minutes, and then I'll do another 10-minute one, maybe, and do a song for you guys, see what comes out of my heart. Okay, so I literally tried to leave a whole bunch of times, and anyway, yeah, in this next video, I'm going to tell you what happened. Anyway, so I came back. I fled. I ran away from the person that I had become more than anything. I didn't run away from, you know, the fact that I cared about this person, or the fact that, you know, I had a dog and I had a home and I had all this stuff that I just uprooted and left. I ran away from the person that I had become, because that wasn't who I wanted to be. I wanted to be this just awesome person that I had already began to become in the 2 years that I was walking with God and really abstaining from the pleasures of this world and substances of this world. And I was just worshiping God and seeking him out all day and all night. It really did produce, and it has, even being here for almost 3 weeks. It changes somebody. It changes somebody from the inside out. So I made the decision to leave Florida and come back to God 2 years later. There's so much that I could unwrap in all of this. And I'll try to do the best that I can. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of the beginning, you know, and then, you know, kind of what I went through, how I fell away, I backslid, and then I decided, like, God, I can't live like this. Like, okay, like, I loved a woman. I never loved a woman like that before, and I never ever will again. That was the first and the last, and the enemy knew that when I loved something and I had something in my mind and in my heart, I would let that thing consume me. And for 2 years, God completely consumed me. That was the one thing I wanted, and then I just got lonely, and I wanted to be loved, and I wanted to love, because I felt like I had some really good things to give someone. And you know, it wasn't the way I wanted it to turn out. There's so many things that were done, so much damage done, that I can only pray to God that that damage can be reversed in in another individual, because I feel like to what I wanted to make somebody better, I almost possibly made them worse. The enemy did through me. So anyway, coming up next, more on the decision.